Hey Gemini. I started your video a second ago, and then I realized I said my Gemini sister's name in it, and I'm like, I don't know if she would appreciate that, so I started it over. So I already pulled you an oracle card. I decided to do things differently this time, and the reason my sister's name came up is because she gave me this deck. It's the Starseed Oracle deck, and I've been eagerly wanting to use it. And then I realized at some point during my shuffle that I was really excited to do your reading, and I don't know why. But anyway, the card that came out is called Baby Steps, and it got me thinking. I know that I pulled this for a personal reading that I did this week. I did like 5 different personal readings, and I'm not sure who this card belonged to, but it could have been my sister. And so then I said, insert her name here. If this was your oracle card, let me know. It's called Baby Steps. Baby Steps. And below it, it says action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. So before I get into the whole spread, I wanted to allow this card to guide said spread. And so I'll begin by reading it to you. It says, you're being called to take grounded action in response to your soul's calling, to start where you are and begin building in a consistent way. So many people stop themselves from living a soul-led life because they're waiting to know the destination before taking the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. Our soul is always calling us. I do believe this was for her. I don't know, out of a card, out of a deck this thick, what are the odds that I get the same card for my Gemini sister twice in 1 week? I don't know. Anyways, our soul is always calling us every moment of every day. The way to find yourself living in harmony with the cosmos is to listen to your soul's baby calls and whispers each and every day and take grounded action in the direction of those calls and whispers. You're being encouraged to start small, bite-sized, to put one foot in front of the other, to do one thing. It was definitely for her. I remember now. Sorry. To put one foot in front of the other, to do one task every day, to break things down into achievable tasks. Time on Earth goes slower than on other planets. This may cause frustration for starseeds, who can expect a faster pace of manifestation and thus give up before the seeds begin to sprout. If you resonate with that, it's time to opt for consistency over urgency. Maybe it wasn't for her. I am so sorry. I'll shut up now. Time to take baby steps in the direction of your calling, to remember that you don't need to have it all figured out or know exactly where the path is leading you. You don't have to know every single step along the way before you set out on your great journey. You just need to take the next step. Okay, moving past the oracle card because I can't shut up. We're going to get a past, present, and future spread for you. This is the first time I noticed in this card that there's 3 people. I mean, it's not like I've pulled this card lots of times. It's a new deck, but this is a person, and it's the same person every time. This is the second card in this deck that I've noticed that in. In the other, well, third technically. But in the third card, there's only 2 people. But it's like a woman looking at her past self. In the first card that I noticed that it does this, it's like a woman looking at her future self, looking at her future self. In this one, it's more of like one of those, what do you call it? Like not fun mirrors, but sort of, but looking inside of a mirror, whatever. It's like observing her current self, but maybe like looking from the outside in, seeing yourself from the perspective of other people. I'm following my intuition before it makes sense. Just taking action like that card says to do. Because I don't know if that's a part of this at all or not. So anyways, I'm going to get a past card first. 2 cards, I think. 6 of Wands, success, victory with the Hermit in reverse. The Hermit seeks knowledge and shares it. It's in the reverse, though. All right, now I'm gonna do present, the Lovers, future, 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, 2 of Cups in the reverse. Now this is a lot of cards, so it may take me a second. If I have to pause here and there, just bear with me. We've got the 8 of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. That's your overall energy, and I'm going to clarify before I start talking, I think. Maybe. Give me just a moment. This might possibly have to do with a partnership of some sort. And when I say partnership, because of this baby steps card, I sort of wonder if it's like a partnership with yourself, with the self, with, because you got the Lovers and the 2 of Cups both. In different placements though, and the two of Cups is reversed, but which I don't really know what any of this means just yet, but I don't see an other in this spread. It almost feels like this feels internal, like a relationship with the self, because like you have the Hermit who goes, you know, into the depths inwardly sometimes, and gains knowledge. It's like you're gaining knowledge. You're in your past. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out here. It seems like in your past you've been successful in gaining some sort of knowledge about yourself. Okay, so before I go too much farther, let's clarify. Yeah. Yeah. So this is okay. At the bare bones of it, this is you going inward, seeking knowledge, and you are following your intuition. Okay, this is really exciting in my head. I just don't know if I can articulate it. Okay, so we got the 8 of Swords. That's your overall energy clarified by the moon. So the 8 of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, I'm probably going to have to show it to you. It's a woman who is blindfolded, and it's said that she blindfolds herself in order to put herself in a stasis, if you will, in a moment of stillness and quiet, and she's bound herself like head to toe so that she can focus, right? So that she's immovable. Nobody can penetrate her wall here that she's put up around herself. See the wall with the she's surrounded by the swords, right? And so like she's going inward into the depths like the Hermit does. because both of those are in the reverse, I don't think it doesn't feel like there's any sort of blockage. It doesn't feel like there's any sort of negative energy related to those. It feels just more like it's confirming the idea that this is inward focused energy. This whole spread. This is about a relationship between you and yourself. Maybe your self, lowercase s, like your 3D self, with your higher self, capital S, right? Your you and your intuition, right? I mean, that's essentially what your higher self, to me, is well, it's who you know you're supposed to be, right? But to get there, you have to have intuition. You have to use your intuition to follow the breadcrumbs, right? So anyways, this is about you. And this is about you going within and seeking that intuitive knowledge, that this is the moon here, clarifying the Eight of Swords in reverse, is into your intuition, right? I want to just say it in the most simplest terms. You're seeking intuition. You're learning to use it to guide you. And the Hermit, it's like, so if you look at the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Hermit has a star, or it's like a lantern with a star in it, and that's his, I guess you could call it his North Star. It's really the I think it would be considered the knowledge he's seeking, but I'm not sure. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know, but anyways, the Hermit goes deep, just like the Eight of Swords does, very similarly. He doesn't necessarily block out the entire world, but he you know, like, I don't want to say hides from it. He leaves it. He ignores it. Let's just say he blocks out, okay? So maybe it's just reiterating that you are going within. You're going into the depths, which is what the Hermit does. And he does this to seek wisdom. And I think this wisdom that you're seeking is wisdom of the self. And I say that because it's clarified by the Queen of Earth, and she's in the upright in it. And so I feel like in your past, you succeeded at finding the wisdom you were seeking, which I believe is related to your intuition. Like maybe you learned to listen to it and let it guide you, because this Queen of Earth, she's all the queens nurture, all the queens take care of their suit, but this one in particular, she's grounded, but she is very much, well, in the 3D, right? She's very earthy. She's and so again, like that's why I think that this is related to the self. I think maybe there's some integration of your self here in the physical realm with your intuition, and you're using that intuition to guide you. This is your past, right? To guide you into your current energy, which is the Lovers. And the Lovers is a balance of those two. It's it's a partnership. Some people call it a marriage, but it could be a partnership with anything between you and something you love or care for. But in this case, I believe it's a partnership with you and yourself, your higher self and your 3D self. And but it's also a card of balance, and I feel like this is you balancing those two polarities, those two the duality of the self and the higher self. And it's clarified by the Nine of Water. The Nine of Water, it's the Nine of Cups. It's a lot of times considered the wish fulfillment card. But this depiction, when it comes out, it makes me think of, well, nurturing yourself, or self-care. That's the word I get with this, because if you look in the picture, there's a bathroom. It's in a bathroom, and this is like the ultimate bathroom to be in if you are into self-care, right? I was gonna say if you're a woman, but anybody, if you just really enjoy self-care. I mean, it's got a Victrola here that I'm sure music is being played on, and I don't know, it kind of looks like a fire. Yeah, there's a fire back here that's going, and then you've got some candles and some rose petals in your bath, and I don't know, it just seems like there's a plant here. There's like a book that they're planning to read with flowers, and I don't know, it just feels like the ultimate self-care card. And because it's cups, it makes sense, because cups are emotions, right? Like caring for your emotions. It's also intuition. So it's like, I wonder if this, in your current energy, clarifying the Lovers, is you doing the ultimate self-care on your intuition. Like you're focusing on all the wisdom that you gained in your past, and this is you know, this is like self-care. This queen in your past with the Hermit and the Six of Wands, this is like your self-care in the 3D, self-care in the physical world. But I think here in your future, it's like it's putting emphasis on the self-care of your intuition, of your higher self, and then integrating the two so that there's balance. But the Nine of Water is in reverse. So I'm almost inclined to say that that's what you need to be doing. And I don't want to tell you what to do. Like, I'm not your mom or anything, but I feel like it's saying, in order to have this integrated, balanced duality, then putting a heavy focus on caring for the mental, I wouldn't say the mental space, the emotional space. I wouldn't say either of those, but like the combination of those, that's basically where your intuition comes from, right? Or it seems like that. It's, you know, mental and emotional, both. It's getting the in order to get the messages that are coming in, you have to have, like, you know, empathy and intelligence to an extent, I guess. And you have that wisdom already. You have the foundation of what you need in order to have that balance, that harmony. So anyways, into your future, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Two of Cups in reverse, clarified by the King of Fire. Four of Pentacles is a card of holding on too tightly to, well, fours are foundations, so maybe holding on too tightly to your foundation, to your resources. To me, it's more of like, in this case, holding on too tightly to what you know, what you already know, what your past holds, to an old narrative, maybe holding on too tightly to an old narrative. But hold on, it's paired with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, which is not a negative card at all. Well, it can be in the upright, but okay, so that's, I think if we put those two together, it's like holding on too tightly to this past narrative of lack. maybe lack of intuition, lack of this balance. So yes, that's what we're going to go with, because that's what feels right. You're holding on in your future. It appears that you're holding on too tightly to this old narrative of lack that no longer exists. It's gone. It's not here, because in your future, the Lovers is in the upright. And I mean, as long as you are nurturing that balance, then the Lovers will be in the upright. It stays in the upright. And so it's like in the future, maybe you get down and out. Maybe you get this loop in your head of this old narrative of lack in balance, and maybe you're holding on too tightly to it. And dare I say, it's time to let that go. It is clarified by the King of Fire. And the King of Fire, if we go at face value, he's the master of his suit. All the kings are. He's a master of his passion and his creativity and his excitement and all those things. But I'm not going at face value on this, because I'm looking at this depiction and he's holding his heart in his hands. I wonder if it's implying that showing the world your heart or allowing others to see that, to hold. There's a phrase. Is the phrase holding your heart in your hands? Basically being vulnerable. Okay, we're just going to call it that. I wonder if you being vulnerable in your future is what causes this mentality to come back around. This this feeling of lack of balance. I think that's all that I'm seeing here on the table, but I don't feel like that's a complete reading, so I'm going to get a card of advice. I haven't done this for the other. I'm going to get a card of advice. I didn't do this for the first two. Okay, the sun and the star. The star is peace, harmony, hope. Following your heart, kind of following your North Star. It's goals, it's dreams, it's aspirations, it's what you want in life, and you're getting it, right? Because the sun, it's not necessarily wish fulfillment, but it's the happiest card in the deck, right? So maybe happiness is your goals, dreams, aspirations. You're getting it. But how is that advice? Trust in your dream, trust in your ability to manifest this. I do feel like I saw the Magician somewhere. That might not have been your reading. No, I don't think that was your reading. Oh, the star. So under the moon that was clarifying your first card, you got the Ace of Wands and the star. Let me show you here. I don't even know if I've seen this star before. It's in the reverse, which the first one was. So it's like, It's like that's a star 3 times. Didn't we just get the star 3 times? No, the 8 of Swords was I'm sorry, I'm getting you mixed up with my last reading. So anyways, you did get the star twice though. So it feels like this uncovering, this opening in your intuition is going to allow for some sort of fresh start with that Ace of Fire, some sort of passionate new beginning. And then with the star behind it, it's like it's leading you in that direction. So I think that might be your advice, maybe to just allow your intuition to open, to be the forefront of decision making and lifestyle change and all that, and you'll come out on top. You'll come out with the sun. Bliss, happiness. So just follow this path you're on. It does irk me that you've got that, vulnerability in your future is what's bringing back this, maybe that feeling of lack. But I feel like it's lack of balance, not like lack of resources or anything like that. But I'm going to get one more card for you, just to kind of wrap this up. This is my Star Codes Astro Oracle deck, and it pairs really nicely with Starseed Oracle. In fact, I'm going to read that baby steps one more time. You're being called to take grounded action in response to your soul's calling. Take grounded action with that Queen of Earth in response to your soul's calling. That's your North Star, the star here, your intuition. To start where you are and begin building in a consistent way. So many people stop themselves from living a soul-led life because they're waiting to know the destination before taking the first step. So yeah, here it is. Again, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Intuition doesn't work like that. Our soul is always calling us, every moment of every day. The way to find yourself living in harmony. Harmony is another star keyword. The way to find yourself living in harmony with the cosmos is to listen to your soul's baby calls and whispers each and every day, and to take grounded action in the direction of those calls and whispers. You're being encouraged to start small, bite-sized, to put one foot in front of the other, to do one thing every day, to break things down into achievable tasks. Time on Earth goes slower than on other planets. This may cause frustration for starseeds, who can expect a faster pace of manifestation, and thus give up before the seeds begin to sprout. If you resonate with that, it's time to opt for consistency over urgency. Take time to take baby steps in the direction of your calling, to remember that you don't need to have it all figured out or know exactly where the path is leading you. You don't have to know every single step along the way before you set out on your great journey. You just need to take the next step. I mean, that's what I just said. It's almost like I don't even have to do a reading for you. I could have just read the Starseed Oracle. But I think it reiterates the whole idea. All right, it says you got second house resources. It did come up in the reverse, so I'll read the challenge to you. I may read the whole thing, though. It says second house resources in the reverse. Now, I already said that I didn't feel like this was really resource related. I felt like it was more balance and intuition and that sort of thing. North Star, what your soul is calling for you to do, your higher self. But we'll see what this resources card says. These always have little nuggets of wisdom in them, whether they make sense to me or not. It doesn't have to make sense to me, it has to make sense to you. So I'm going to read the whole thing. If your chart were a village map, your second house would hold your bank, your museum, and warehouses. It symbolizes what you value, such as your body and your relationship to the material world. The second house also describes that phase of infancy where you're just discovering that you have a body, toes and fingers, and that you can taste and smell. The action says, explore how you feel about money. It could be that you are holding on too tightly to the idea of lack in finances, which is blocking. That could be what's blocking your ability to achieve this balance. Could be. Explore how you feel about money. So many people on the spiritual path have mixed feelings about money, their bodies, and possessions, drawn to abundance, but at the same time wrestling with guilt or discomfort around desire. This approach, avoidance conflict around the material world, can make it hard to focus your efforts, and it may send out mixed messages until the universe doesn't know how to respond to help you. The second house asks you to build a clear and congruent message about your relationship to your resources that you can stand behind with integrity. Matter is our sacred vessel for spirit. Explore your attitude towards your first resource, your own body and sensuality. There's some sort of lack you're feeling, whether that is your body, your resources, your just balance in general. There's some sort of lack in your future that you're holding on to. You're holding on to that feeling. Like maybe it's just because it's natural for you, it's familiar. And maybe it's causing you to feel vulnerable and unable to move forward in the direction that you need to be going in. But it says, look for that place of balance where you honor and respect your physical form, as well as the importance of the soul that inhabits it. That's exactly what I just said. Yes, and the Two of Cups in reverse in your future. Let me say it one more time. Look for that place of balance where you honor and respect your physical form, your Queen of Earth, as well as the importance of the soul that inhabits it, your moon. Invest your energy towards what you value. This is where you can be a resource to others, and this is where you can get paid. Clean up your act in the material world. Clean closets, pay bills, deal with other practical things that might appear mundane, but can be a sacred act of aligning the soul to the surroundings. Integrity creates a welcoming ground for bounty. Come up with a clear, integrated message to radiate out, and then back that up with action. King of Fire is that action. He has a plan, and once that plan reaches him, like so if you look at the court cards, you got the page, the king, the queen, and the knight, and the page, the knight, the queen, the king. And there's a process that has to go through for this plan that the page begins to prepare for. There's a process that has to go through each one of those court cards to reach the king. And when it gets to the king, like, he's all systems go. I mean, the knight is to an extent, but the king is just, he is the integrated message. So come up with a clear integrated message to radiate out. That would be like the page and the knight. And then back that up with action. So that would be the queen into the king. All right, so this card, I am sorry this is taking so long, but the second house resources, it came out in the reverse. So I'm going to read that challenge for you. What you see is not all there is. If you're looking for emotional and spiritual satisfaction in your stuff, it will never be enough, because it never quite scratches that itch. And then the gift says your skills, your resources, and your interests can all be sacred if you make an offering of your intention and engage your work for the benefit of all sentient beings. Whew. All right. I really liked that one. I don't know where my deck is. There it is. I really liked that one. I hope that it worked for you, if it made sense. Feel free to put a message in the comments if it did, or if it didn't, that's fine too. I still hope you enjoyed it if it didn't resonate, but I enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. I'll be here. Bye.